strength training or resistance training, whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced, you've got to do this. Now, I know there's a lot of people who come into gyms or health clubs, whatever you want to call us, and you're looking to maybe just lose weight. And you think, I don't want to do any resistance training. I'm not trying to gain weight. I don't know where that ever came from, the gain weight thing. There are, believe it or not, people that still are trying to gain weight, that they're doing weightlifting and they're trying to consume as many calories as they can. Maybe they bodybuild or power lift or something like that. But the average person is not trying to gain weight, so they're fearful that if they lift weights, they will. You know, if you think about it, I don't have a visual on me right now, but usually a pound of muscle is going to be a look about like that, a pound of fat about like that. A pound of fat's about a third of the size bigger. But I want you to think about something. If you were to call the gym today, let's say you call and say, hey, I'm thinking about joining up. I'm just curious, what should I weigh for my height? Well, if I said, you know what, I don't have a clue, you'd think, well, this guy's basically stupid. But what if I said this? Hold on, let me tell you why. I don't know what you're made up of. In other words, you want to lose weight, you want to lose muscle, fat, water. I mean, if I get you on the scale, I have no clue what you're even made up of. That's why a lot of times if you go to a health club, we want to check your body fat percentage too, your BMI. We want to find out, what are you made of? So here's the deal. A lot of times you tend to want to go by a height, weight, measurement thing. Okay, if I weigh this for this height, I'm good. If not, but how many, honestly, have you seen people that are a certain weight for a height, but they don't look good, and someone else may be 10 pounds heavier than they should be for their height, and they look good? It's because of lean muscle tissue. How do you get lean muscle tissue? Through resistance training. There's not a pill. Now, I know everybody's seeking out a magic pill to lose weight, but there's not going to be a magic pill to gain lean muscle. Whether you're a guy or a girl, you need to have this lean muscle tissue, because as you get older, you're going to need it more than you ever thought you would. Just getting out of the bed can be a challenge sometimes. Once you're over 50, you need it. Now, some of you watching this video may be in your 70s, some of you may be in your 20s. Don't matter what age you're in, you need it. What I've seen in the last several years is what I call invasion of fat, skinny people. It's into muscular fat. It's where you see someone, maybe it's a girl that's 16 years old, she's a cheerleader in high school, her arm's this big around, but yet you grab the back side of it and it's just boop, 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 boop. No muscle. Why? Because there's no resistance training, there's no activity. For most people, resistance training nowadays is just making up for the activity and lack of movement you're not doing. So yeah, you need it worse than we did in the 80s. We were just adding to our fit level back then. Now you're just trying to get to where you have a fit level. So don't put off the resistance training. Think about it like this. You got a twin sister or a twin brother sitting right beside you. You're the one calling me at the gym and saying, what should I weigh for my height? And I'm saying, you know, again, I don't know what you're made up of. Let's get you in the gym. Let's see. Because here's why. You could literally be twins. One of you could weigh 180 pounds. The other could weigh 180 pounds and look totally different because of this. If one of you has more body fat than the other, you're going to look like you're 20 pounds heavier. So when you're walking down the mall, there's not a scale tied to your rear end when you're walking. They don't know what you weigh. They don't even know what you look like. So wouldn't it be better to actually have a lot of lean muscle tissue where you look leaner than to be actually lighter on the scale and look like you're fatter? Let's put it this way. A heavy person, just to be blunt, someone that's chubby or even fat, if they're on a cruise ship and it goes down and they're next to the person who's been working out the entire week on the cruise ship, they're real lean and mean. Well, the chances are the one that's lean and mean is going to drown because the muscle's going to sink to the bottom. The one that's fat, they're going to be floating around and live forever out there. But let's face it, how many of us are on a cruise very often? What we are very often is taking a shower, getting out of the shower and looking in the mirror and thinking, uh-oh. Because see, on dry land, muscle stands at attention, fat sinks. So how do we get that muscle to stand at attention? We have to get it. How do you do that? Through resistance training. So what I want to talk to you a little bit about is how to do resistance training. First of all, there's so many ways to do this. It's nothing I can do in a short-term video. That's why I have the education classes I do live. But I do want to tell you this. If you're a beginner, if you could do maybe 3 times a week, just working each muscle group a little bit, you'll be shocked on how you feel within 6 weeks. If you're intermediate and advanced, you can always advance that forward as you feel. The thing is though, when you do resistance training, you have to remember this. I see people that either won't do it or people who overdo it. They also are what we call 3 different ways to get results on resistance training. So I want to ask you this. If you are fixing to do resistance training or have done it in the past or doing it now, ask yourself this. Do you want 30% results from your workout, 70%, or 100%? I'm hoping you want 100%, but I'm telling you, when I watch most people work out in the gyms, they're getting 30%. They're doing what we call momentum training. The example of that is this. If you had a flat tire on your car and you're trying to get it from point A to point B, you're going to figure out the least amount of resistance to get it there, right? But not when you're doing resistance training. That's why it's called resistance training. So if you're doing resistance training, let's say you're doing a chest press. A lot of people may be on a machine in the gym and they're just going boom, 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 going at it. It's called momentum, just trying to get from point A to point B as fast as you can. Now that's 30% results. That's better than the person down the road sitting on the couch doing nothing. But then there's 70%, what I call a forced negative. It's getting, instead of getting positive and negative resistance, you're just basically cheating on the positive and doing good on the control down on the resistance part. So let's say I'm doing this. I'm going fast up, but I'm controlling on the way down. That's a whole lot better than what the first person did, but it's still just resistance. You're not getting the positive, negative, not getting eccentric and concentric movement. So what happens is this, you're getting 70%. That's a whole lot better than the 30, but it's still a C. That's certainly trying and probably getting nowhere. But what if you did this? What if you realize this? I need to be in control of the positive, negative, the eccentric and concentric movement from the beginning to the end of the movement. So now whether I'm doing a chest press, a arm curl, a leg extension, I'm controlling it. I'm going up and down at the same time. Not only that, I'm learning how to breathe. I'm making my breathing match my movement. So when I'm coming out, I'm exhaling the exertion and I'm inhale as I come back down. And I'm actually matching the movement. That takes a little bit of time sometimes if you're not used to breathing, but you're actually learning how to do it the right way when you start. But by doing it and being in control of both, I call it a 2-2. 2 seconds up, 2 seconds down. Now I'm in control of the movement. The weight's not in control of me. By the way, it doesn't matter what weight you're doing, it's what you can control. So think about that. Next time you work out on the weights, if you've been cheating all this time, go for 100%. Don't worry about the person next to you, what weight they're using. Do it the right way. And also think of this. When you're working out, when you come into a gym, what if I was the one touring you and I said, hey, would you mind if I did a test on you to see what kind of condition you're in? Well, most people say, yeah, I'd be fine to do that. Well, if I came over here and said, hey, let's put 400 pounds on the bench press, see how many times you lift it, you'd probably like, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. But what if I said this? No, let's just go about 60% of probably what you can lift. Let's don't have an injury. I get you on the machine, you start doing, I say, hey, I'm fixing to head to lunch, I'm gonna be gone for about 30 minutes, just keep doing that movement until I get home. Well, that's just as stupid, right? So think about this though. We wanna learn how to do the strength training the right way. And typically when you're starting off, the whole thing is to figure out how many days a week you wanna work out, and then we determine the workout from that. But when you're doing it, remember this, you're not coming in the gym to build anything. You're actually coming in the gym to tear it down. So now I'm back on the tour and I say, hey, I'm glad you came. I'm fixing to tear you down big time. Well, you think this guy is a total idiot. I'm going somewhere else, but that's what I'm supposed to do. You're supposed to go through what we call a catabolic stage. When you're working out and giving it all you got, you're going through a catabolic, you're tearing the muscle down. And then when you leave, you're going through an anabolic, it's a recovery time. It's where we're hoping you get the proper rest, the nutrition, everything just like it needs to be. Then you're gaining that lean tissue back. So typically when we're working someone out, if you were going to do a full body, we wouldn't want you to do it every day. We'd want you to do it every third day, every other day. Because your body takes a period of time, and it depends on your age and your condition, any restrictions on how fast that anabolic stage goes in between a catabolic. In other words, how fast is my body recovering? You may be working out with someone who doesn't eat good, they're a little bit older and so forth. They're not getting a recovery like you. So remember, despite your age, you want to make all this happen. So on resistance, it's important that you get with one of us. Let us design the program that's going to be best for you to get those goals met. But the fact is, you still got to do it. No matter what the goal is, you're going to have to do the resistance training. You need to allow that time. If you're a person who does cardio all the time, you do group classes, get with us. Let us show you what you can do to complement that cardio class. In other words, let's say you're doing Zumba. We know you're doing a lot of dancing, you're doing a lot of cardio, you strengthen the heart, but you're not doing anything for the other muscles. So what we could do, we could actually help you design a workout that would complement that workout after you come to the floor. In other words, you came out of Zumba class, you've got 10 minutes, we'll show you some exercises you can do between classes to help just kind of tighten everything else up. Now think about this too. Don't be the person who comes in the gym and says, I just want to tighten this or this or this. You ever see someone who painted a bedroom in their house, and once they painted it, the rest of the house looked terrible? Don't do that to your body. Don't work your arms and not your legs. Work everything up front. That way when you finally get it where you want it, you're right where you want to be at. So resistance training, it's critical you do it. It's critical you do it the right way, and it's critical to realize this. It's not something you learn overnight. This may be something you had to come to a lot of my advanced strength and cardio classes so I can teach you these ways to split your body parts out. Here's an example. 3-day full body, 4-day split, 5-day split, 6-day split. I'm not trying to make it difficult. I'm just trying to tell you, let us help you design this up. Call or come by one of the classes. We'll teach you more detail. But you need to learn the importance, though. If you're not doing strength training, the importance and the benefit is going to help you as you get older. Don't miss out on it.